Hey everybody, welcome back. We're continuing our reading of this book, Hamza Yusuf. It's going in on some poetry. We're on the one titled Inequity, and it's poem verses 34 through 42. So let's just jump in and see what's going down. Page 20. The disease of inequity, according to the book, Opening of the Truth, is defined as harming a fellow creature without right. Okay, so inequity can be measured as in do you have a right to do what you're doing or not? Its cause is the powerfully intoxicating wine, love of worldly position. So the intoxicating wine is power, yeah. When you drink of it, you become delirious. So remember, if you wish to turn this intoxicant into a useful vinegar, how many a leader achieved his heart's desire of rank? I like this intoxicant into a useful vinegar, because vinegar you need fermentation, but also to make wine you need fermentation. So instead of having a rotting, you're having more of a marination. How many a leader achieved his heart's desire of rank and position, yet in the end the devotee of his object of devotion were leveled to equal planes by death. That is a good example to examine time and time again. One of the most interesting ones for me, albeit it's a fantasy version, but Daenerys Targaryen, when she finally got her throne, she was killed shortly after her possession of it, right? And Cersei Lannister as well. So, quite telling, right? Keep in mind that this desire is about turning away from your master towards his impoverished and miserly servants. So turning away from God and going towards just earthly people who were created to worship God, right? Why are you going to worship the one who has to worship, right? Concern with the affections of others is exhausting. You know what? That can be very true. Yeah. Some people get so absorbed in other people's lives, it's insane. I have to work with some people like that. And they are quite exhausting how they obsess over everything. However, what's someone doing? What's someone wearing? Oh, how fat is somebody? It's just never ending. Makes you exhausted to be around them. And though you may please some, others will flee from you, filled with anger. This is another true aspect. You can't make everyone happy. Yet what is prohibited regarding the pleasure of others is what is procured by way of trickery, ostentatious display of religiosity, or hypocritical affectation. Ostentatious display of religiosity, so pompous parades, essentially, right? Know also that the seeker of their pleasure cannot expect the pleasure of God, the fashioner of creation, the mighty, the capable. As for the one whose heart is encrusted with the love of this world, his only cure is having certainty of morality. Encrusted with love of this world. Encrusted. So the hardness coming into play again. Thus, if he keeps death constantly before his eyes, this acts as a cleanser for the soiled matter encrusting his heart. Yes, I like that part, because I do look at a lot of death. Not in a negative way where I get depressed, like if I see too many kids suffering, I will get sad, but once in a while I don't want to say rejuvenate, but shock, awaken, refresh, remind, right? My focus towards there's kids suffering, they need help, right? But at the same time, tragedy, the whole genre of tragedy is one of my favorites. And that is something you can see empirically or, theoretical wise and pragmatically in your vicinity, right? So let's see what Hamza has to say. Definition and treatment. So the treatment for inequity. Inequity is defined, according to Sheikh Muhammad, the author of the book, The Opening of the Truth, as harming anything in creation without just cause. The word is a translation of baghi, which is derived from the Arabic word that denotes desire. Okay, so desire making you harm people. In this context, the problem is desiring something to the point of transgressing the rights of others to attain it, which is usually always happens, right? Usually always. The inequity of injustice that people aim at others ultimately work against themselves. O you people, surely your inequity is but against yourselves. Quran 10:23, right? You harm yourself. Imam Maulud describes the cause of inequity using the metaphor of a powerfully intoxicating wine called karkaf, which makes one shudder when swallowed. Oh, really? Oh, like tequila. Like tequila. Yeah, tequilas do that. Oh, whiskeys? For sure. Bourbons. Bourbons can be a whiskey bourbon, and then you get into scotch, right? And then the nuances of, but those potent liquors. Vodka, not so much. Gin, not so much. Some Chardonnays can do that more than red wines, Cabernets and such. This metaphorical wine is love of position, which is a major motivation that impels some people to wrong others. Yeah, I mean, it's one of the most ancient, right? Even petty office managers oppress their subordinates for the purpose of marking their territory and securing their positions. Boy, do I know it. Boy, do I know it. Boy, do I know it. Tyrants on corporate boards pull off power plays to acquire more authority or remove those from who they perceive to be potential challenges to their authority position. That has happened to me a lot. That happened to me a lot, man. People see your strength and your hustle as some sort of like approach and encroachment on them. The Imam states that the desire for temporal power is a move away from God, besides whom there is no power or might. A move towards his creation, that is, people who are comparison impoverished. Those desiring temporal power protect whatever illusionary possessions and authority they have like misers. It's hard, because if you're in power, you have to literally maintain it and protect it. You have to sustain it. It's very difficult when you're in that. I mean, because all those eyes are coming in on you. And it's like, it's like you are like a frozen TV dinner in a microwave. Just so much energy. I mean, all coalescing on you. Just bam, bam. And then the media highlighting more of the energy. Then you have people showing up at your office all the time, trying to bribe you. Mega corporations who, will say, hey, we're going to catch, your family member doing this or your wife cheating on you. Pay us this amount of money and allow us to do this kind of deal and it'll all go away. I mean, it is scary because also once they get into these temporal positions of power, what is the famous saying, right? When you play the Game of Thrones, you win or you die, right? It's pretty much throughout all history. What happens is brutal. You lose in the most horrible way, right? It's quite scary. Vain pursuits wear out the soul. This is very true. Oh, yes. I mean, it's like trying to drink water when you just have a salt cotton mouth, right? It's just, you gotta keep chugging. And it just never seems to end. A person who endeavors to please people or gain their love, admiration, or approval will exhaust himself. See, this was something that I have really been trying to focus on learning at work. Because some of them, they don't talk to me. Some of the girls, they don't talk to me. The first times they met me, they talked to me, but then when I started wearing the hijab to work, they don't talk to me. At all. Some of them. One of the chicks who doesn't talk to me has this satanic pentagram tattooed on her wrist. So, she's kind of a goth San Franciscan chick, so I'm not surprised by that, because we're kind of opposites in our goal. But I always tell myself, I'm not going to be loved at work. I'm here to make my money. I don't need to fit in with these people. I just need to be civil, respectful, do my job, trust in the maker, get in, get out. Boom. This job is not my future. I don't belong here. I'm only here because of the, low gas mileage to get there, the amount of money per the hour, that's why I'm there, right? And then I focus on that. And when people are attacking me like, 'cause now I'm starting to get a little bit more jealousy of people getting mad I'm leaving work. You know, I think to myself, well, I'm a good person and I work hard and I never call in sick. I'm never late. I'm always on time. I always do my job. I'm always sweating my butt off, just hustling, doing what I gotta do. Won't they like me and just leave me alone? And then you realize there's a test in all of that too. So it will make you exhausted. I think all of you can have an example of that. And if you do, leave it so I can read it.